Celebrities often jump at the chance to make appearances at pro wrestling events to promote their projects. It's got a big and passionate audience, but every once in a while a celebrity butts heads with a wrestler and sparks fly. Former adult film star and media personality Mia Khalifa seemingly has no love for WWE. Khalifa was discussing former UFC champ Ronda Rousey's move from the Octagon to WWE on Out of Bounds, a YouTube show in 2017, and took some shots.
This is where her career will go to die.
Khalifa went on to say, "I have no respect for the WWE. It's not a real sport. It's embarrassing. You go from real fights to wearing a sequined unitard and pretending to fight?" She was then joined on the show by former WWE star Eva Marie, who attempted to explain how wrestlers train and take real bumps, but it didn't convince Khalifa. After the episode went up, former wrestler and current producer Shane "Hurricane" Helms came to the sport of King's defense on social media. Helms delivered a series of spicy posts about Khalifa's previous occupation and how it compared to wrestling. He initially wrote that he wasn't going to get upset that a former adult actress didn't respect the business and that she was entitled to her opinion. Helms wrote, "Our bodies take a pounding, and, well, so does hers." We don't know if Helms changed her mind, but Khalifa did seem to drop her beef with wrestling. She posted a video to her YouTube channel training in the ring with AEW star Thunder Rosa in August 2018. Khalifa learned that it's not all pretend, taking several chops across the chest.
Are you okay?
I can't move my neck more than that.
Everything hurts!
The video ends with Khalifa seeing a chiropractor with what seems like new respect for the business. Randy Orton isn't known for taking any guff, and in 2021 he got into a feud with rapper Soulja Boy. Orton didn't start the fight, but he ended it. Soulja Boy got it rolling with a post on X claiming that someone's rap game was faker than WWE. The Viper had to strike back at that, replying, "Fake? Dare this prick to step up. Consider us actors that do stunts without pads 200 days a year and don't when we get surgically repaired and come right back. Consider us 100 times tougher than anyone you've come across." Soulja Boy attempted to fire back at Orton, even asking the Legend Killer if he knew who he was. Orton fired back with a virtual RKO, telling the rapper that Bad Bunny, who has impressed the handful of times he stepped in a WWE ring, would clobber him. Orton also called Soulja Boy a one-hit wonder. Orton then dared the rapper to come to his world and tell him wrestling is fake. Soulja Boy has yet to take the Legend Killer up on his offer. The feud between Cardi B and Lacey Evans is a prime example of a celebrity not knowing when a wrestler is trying to work an angle. The rapper is a well-known WWE fan and is set to host SummerSlam 2025. But at the beginning of 2021, Cardi got into a heated exchange with then WWE star Evans. Viewers started tagging Cardi in social media posts after a segment where Tori Wilson sent Angel Garza looking for the rapper. Instead, Garza only found the boogeyman. Cardi quote posted a video of the segment and joked, "This is not how my WWE debut was supposed to be." Cardi added that then WWE head Vince McMahon better start counting his days. Evans responded to that post, bringing up Cardi's fight with Nicki Minaj at Fashion Week in 2018. "Careful what you wish for, you nasty. We aren't Nicki Minaj. You'll get sent home with more than a busted eye." Cardi came back fighting with some replies, including calling Evans' post unnecessary and stating, "A white woman can't never put fear on me, sweetie." Evans went on to characterize her response as simply a friendly heads up, and Cardi ended up deleting most of her posts after apparently realizing that Evans was working. Saying that MaCaulay Culkin and former WCW champion Bill Goldberg had an online feud almost sounds like something that would come out of a game of Mad Libs, but it really happened. In February 2020, lifelong wrestling fan Culkin had a reaction that a lot of fans did to Goldberg's match against Bray Wyatt at Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia. He quote posted a sarcastic comment that WWE was all about building new stars, like decidedly not new guys like Brock Lesnar, The Undertaker, and Goldberg. Culkin simply added an amen to that sentiment. He followed it up with a post about canceling his tickets to WrestleMania 36. Goldberg saw the post and replied, "Duly noted, dork," with a thumbs up emoji. Culkin fired back, asking Goldberg not to tombstone him, seemingly a reference to a botch in his 2019 Super Showdown match against Undertaker. Goldberg told Culkin not to worry, saying that his 13-year-old son would beat up Culkin instead. As it turned out, Culkin didn't have to cancel his tickets to WrestleMania 36, which was scheduled for Tampa's Raymond James Stadium. COVID-19 did it for him. That mania ended up happening in the WWE Performance Center in Orlando with no fans in attendance. Former UFC champion Conor McGregor seems perfectly fine with WWE. He even often teases WWE appearances, none of which, as of the making of this video, have panned out. But he wasn't always so friendly when asked about making the jump to the world of wrestling. When the Irish fighter was promoting UFC 202 back in 2016, McGregor went off on wrestling, calling most of the performers a much less polite word for coward.
That's a little bit more show business, so this is the fight business.
McGregor doubled down with a post on X. He said he meant no disrespect to WWE fans, but that he would slap the head off the entire WWE roster, and twice on Sundays. Chris Jericho responded and said while he meant no disrespect, his own fights were legit. He added an implication that McGregor's fights in UFC were fixed. Big E had a more lighthearted response asking McGregor if he would like to find the WWE stars individually to be slapped or have them all line up at once. He joked, "I know your time is valuable, sir." Kofi Kingston said it looked like the Notorious One could use a bowl of Bootios. AJ Styles took shots at McGregor's size, with Styles saying he could do well if WWE had a featherweight division. Roman Reigns took a similar tack, telling the UFC celebrity to shut up because he was, quote, the size of his leg. Sheamus and Becky Lynch, who are also both from Ireland, didn't take too kindly to McGregor's comments either. Following the merger of WWE and UFC to create TKO, some fans are still holding out hope that McGregor will one day appear in a WWE ring. Back when they were both arguably at the height of their fame, WWE star CM Punk got into an online war of words with singer Chris Brown. It started in February 2012 when Punk took a shot at Brown during that year's Grammy Awards ceremony. Punk referenced Brown's 2009 assault of then-girlfriend Rihanna, stating that he'd like Brown to, quote, fight somebody that can defend themselves. He went on to say, curb stomping that turd would be a WrestleMania moment. Brown responded by saying Punk needed more followers and accusing him of being on steroids. Punk then released a video to adamantly deny ever using steroids, mentioning his straight-edge lifestyle.
And I don't hit women. See, period. You don't hit women in my world.
Punk challenged Brown to a fight and said that all proceeds of the fight would go to a women's shelter of Punk's choosing. The war of words wasn't a storyline, that is, until WWE attempted to make it one. The company posted a full breakdown of the Twitter spat on its own, including Brown's follow-up about missing real wrestlers such as Bret Hitman Hart, Coco Beware, Rowdy Roddy Piper, and more. The article noted that the hashtag was trending while Punk was in the ring. Despite the company attempting to make a profit off the real-life heat between the pair, no fight ever came to fruition. Television host Nancy Grace has been a known hater of wrestling for years, and her beef with the industry as a whole ramped up after she picked up on the death of the Ultimate Warrior in 2014. Grace attempted to attribute all wrestler deaths in recent memory to steroid use. Grace invited WCW legend Diamond Dallas Page onto her show, and Page alleges it was under false pretenses. Page has said in interviews he believed he was going on Grace's show to talk about Warrior, the man, and their relationship in WCW, not his steroid usage. Page told Radar Online, "I was even given bullet points from her producers about the topics we would discuss. After seeing the topics, which were pretty basic, I felt it would be great to go on and discuss the legend he was and how I got to know him." Page said he felt ambushed after the fact, and he would have nothing to say to Grace in the aftermath. Grace was confronted by radio host, WWE fan, and occasional WWE personality Sam Roberts on the Jim and Sam show about it. Roberts said that Grace made the argument that drug use and steroid abuse was causing wrestlers to die young, even though she listed names of people who had died under other circumstances.
Is there anything that you regret the way you did cover? Like, is there any, like, looking back, do you go, you know what, I was wrong about that?
Grace ended up walking out of the interview. When Impractical Joker star Sal Vulcano had a run-in with ECW original and WWE Hall of Famer Bubba Ray Dudley, Bubba Ray wasn't a Hall of Famer yet, and Sal wasn't a celebrity yet. It happened back in ECW's late 90s heyday, and Vulcano related the story in 2019 on an episode of Colt Cabana's Art of Wrestling podcast. Vulcano explained that he baited Dudley while waiting in line for an ECW show at a beach venue.
And I thought it would be funny to yell out, "Hey, Bubba Ray Dudley, you fat."
Almost immediately, Vulcano's friend warned him that Dudley was charging toward him. Vulcano said, "My friend's like, he's coming. I wish you the best." I turned around and he took my Yankee hat off me and he goes, "What'd you just say?" And I just turned into Rain Man and I was like, "I'm just a big fan." Vulcano said that Dudley started slapping him with all his might across the face with his baseball cap. The comedian explained with a laugh that he didn't want to look Dudley in the eyes out of fear. Dudley allegedly told Vulcano to say it to his face, but the interaction ended there. Either Dudley doesn't remember the altercation or all has been forgiven, as he's appeared on Impractical Joker since, alongside fellow legend and Busted Open podcast host Tommy Dreamer. Alright, this one was totally a work, but it was too fun to leave out. Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville started up a feud that had some believability behind it, culminating in what many call one of the best celebrity matches in history at WrestleMania 38. Their feud started off with Zayn being upset that Knoxville got a spot in the Royal Rumble that year. Zayn's jealousy boiled over from there. Not just keeping the spat to social media, Zayn even showed up on the red carpet of the premiere of Knoxville's film Jackass Forever to hound him. The feud between the two ended up being one of WWE's best and most effective examples of a celebrity and a wrestler going at it. Zayn has admitted he doesn't believe his feud with Knoxville is over. They even kept the bad blood going when Knoxville performed alongside Zayn at his Sami Zayn and Friends comedy show ahead of Money in the Bank in 2024.